Alright, let's make some ravioli because my husband requested it and he said it better be ready by the time I'm home or else. Just kidding, he didn't say most of that, but he requested ravioli. So let's make some. I've got a 22-quart Cambro full of flour and it's time to use it up. So let's go. On the counter, I've got 2 cups of flour with 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to blend that together. With my measuring cup, I'm just going to make like a well in the middle of it. Add in 1 egg, 2 eggs, 3 huevos, I think that's how you say it, and 4 eggs. And then with your handy dandy dingle hopper, you're just going to squish those little babies and you're just going to start mixing them up. A little bit like this. It leaked. It's okay. Very slowly, you're going to start incorporating a little bit of flour into it until you can't really mix with the fork anymore. I'm calling it, Jim. We're gonna just start using a bench scraper or pastry cut, whatever you call this. It's a bench scraper. And just kind of basically pull it in on itself. Scooch some flour over there, a little over here. Just put it together, okay? You know what to do. Okay, now you can scrape off the bench scraper and just start bringing it up, pushing it down, push it away from you. And just keep doing that until it all comes together. It will come together. Don't add any liquid. You probably won't need it. This is the dough. This is my workspace. So I got up almost all of that flour. You want it to be when you push into it that it springs back. That's perfect. That's the underside. We're gonna throw it in plastic wrap and cover it for about 30 minutes to rest. We just stretched all that gluten and all those gluten strands. So now we need to let it rest so that it's ready for making the pasta later. The next thing you're going to need is some kind of filling for the ravioli. So use whatever you've got in your fridge or freezer and just clean it out, chop it up, and cook them off, and that's what we're going to use. So let's see what we have. For myself, I've got some mushrooms I froze, ground beef, some little baby chompers of peppers, some onions, and again, use whatever you've got in there. I'm also going to add cheese, but these are what I'm going to cook down. Alright, so I added the bell peppers, the mushrooms, and then I added some oregano, some Italian seasoning, some sloppy mama, and then I know it's a little bit oily, but I want to add a little bit of wine. We're using some basic cellars because we're basic girls, embracing basic, drinking basic, be basic. That's who we are. And we're just going to add, I don't know, about 1/4 cup. We just want to get all the brown bits off of the bottom of the pan and deglaze it a little bit. And then we're going to turn it up to high and get most of that juicy juice gone. Okay, it's totally fine if it's not cut up all the way or cut up perfectly. There's large chunks because we're just going to throw it in a food processor with some mozzarella. I've got like 1/2 cup and then 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, and we're going to blend that together. That is perfection. It tastes so good. It's all cooked too, which is kind of what you want. And you can still see bits and pieces in it, which I like. And I'm very happy with it. You always want to taste it before you actually put it in, because if it tastes like caca before you put it in the pasta, it's just going to taste like caca when it comes out of the pasta. So that's perfect. I'm going to set that in a bowl so that I can scoop it when I'm ready. Alright, we cut it in half and then we're just going to put it through our pasta maker. I'm going to flatten this down a little bit. Look at all that. That's beautiful though. Just flatten it out. Alright, we've got our pasta maker on 8, which is the widest one that you can have it on, because you want to go from wider to smaller. So now we're just going to put it through and see if it goes down. And here it comes out the other side, and just catch it. I dusted it with a little more flour, and now we're going to switch it down to probably like a 6 or so. I'm going to go every other 2. I actually cut it in half because I don't want this whole long one, and I think it's just going to be easier to do it with cutting it in half like this. You're going to work in batches, do it as thin as you'd like, but I'm going to make this a little more square. Then I've got all this filling and I put it in a piping bag and I just cut off the tip. All right, we've got it all piped out. I did about a tablespoon or so. And now I'm just going to put this over, oopsies, put it over like that. And then I'm just going to take my finger and just go in between each one of them so that it distinguishes them. All right, you're just going to take a fork to make the edges like this and just go around it, and this seals it so that nothing comes out. Set it on a sheet tray and keep going. With all that extra dough, you're just going to smush it back together, and then you can make a little bit of spaghetti with it. All right, they made 24 raviolis, and then I have 4 little stacks of spaghetti that I also made out of it that I'm just going to freeze. We're going to freeze these for about 20 minutes or longer if you want, and then take them off and cook them. I'm not going to cook all of them, so I'm going to flash freeze them and then throw them in a bag and freeze them for later as well. All right, these have been in the freezer for about an hour now. I didn't flash freeze them, I was wrong on that, but they have been frozen pretty solid. So I've got my boiling water here. I'm going to stick them in for about 2 or 3 minutes, maybe less, I'm not really sure, just until they float around and they're done. This is an extra step you can take, but you can oil a pan and fry these a little bit. My husband requested them, so I'm doing a little bit of oil on the bottom and frying them a little bit for him. All right, we got our pasta a little fried up. We've got some green beans and some bread, and let's go see how we like it. You can use whatever sauce you have. This was a vodka pasta sauce, so use whatever you'd like.